Hi and welcome to the video. I'm here at a slightly windy Glasgow airport today where I'll be flying to Glasgow airport. No, I'm not repeating myself. What's happening is I'm taking a special commemorative flight with Loganair today on board one of their Saab 340 aircraft before it goes into retirement later this week. Loganair have been running these over 2 days and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they've got in store for us. So I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks so much for coming with me. Let's go. My 10 AM flight was the first of 4 commemorative flights being operated by Loganair today, and I'd arrived about an hour before we were due to depart. After a quick visit to the empty check-in desk, it was time to head upstairs and through security, which was unsurprisingly quiet for a Sunday morning in January. Loganair have been in operation for more than 60 years and currently service around 40 routes, mainly across the British Isles, along with a handful of Scandinavian destinations. They use a variety of aircraft in their fleet, including the Britten-Norman Islander, the de Havilland Canada Twin Otter, the ATR 42, the Embraer 145, and the ATR 72, which will be replacing the Saab once it retires. After a short walk through the airport, I arrived at Gate 15, which was being used by Loganair today for all their commemorative flights. It was clear due to the nature of this flight, and a number of familiar faces at the gate from Twitter and YouTube, that this was going to be a flight full of fellow aviation enthusiasts, and indeed everyone seemed to have a camera in their hand to ensure they captured some good shots of this iconic aircraft. Before long, boarding was called and it was time to head out down the steps of Gate 15 to our awaiting aircraft. There was a real buzz around the gate from the Loganair team as well as from the passengers waiting, and having had a chat with some of the staff, they were saying how much the crew had enjoyed operating the flights the previous day for people who have such a passion for aviation, the same as they do. Today's flight was operated by this 35-year-old Saab 340 aircraft, which has been in Loganair's possession for the past 19 years and is one of the few remaining operated by the airline. There were lots of photo ops taking place as we were getting on the aircraft, and I'm certainly not one to miss out on an opportunity. Magic, thanks very much. Climbing up the front steps, I entered this all-economy cabin, which hosts 33 seats in a 2-1 layout, and I settled into my seat in 8C near the rear of the aircraft. I would have normally opted for a window seat, but these flights sold out so quickly that I was grateful to get a seat at all, and I think I managed to grab the last one in this flight. Thankfully, I found myself sitting next to Dan from Infinite Flight, who was more than happy for me to grab one of the 2 windows we had to set up my camera, so a big shout out to Dan for the fact that I have any external takeoff and landing footage at all. Each of the seats had a goodie bag from Loganair to commemorate the flight, containing a signed certificate of appreciation, a luggage tag, a Saab 340 sticker, a fantastic book detailing the Saab's history with Loganair, and of course, what would any Loganair flight be without a couple of Tunnocks caramel wafers? Once we were all on board, Captain Eddie Watt, our pilot, came on to introduce himself and the rest of the crew. He was due to retire just 4 days after this flight, with his final Saab 340 flight with Loganair being the Inverness to Glasgow flight on the 25th of January.
Hello, good morning everybody. Good to have you all aboard the Saab 340 aircraft operated by Loganair, taking you on this little trip out to the west of Glasgow and then back on for a final for runway 23 here at Glasgow Airport. Good to have you with us on this very special day. Sub 340 beginning its wind down, and we're all very tearful about that. However, it's been a great piece of kit for us all, and we really appreciate it. It's done a horrendous amount of work for Loganair over the last 24 years. My name's Captain Watt. I've been 27 years with the company. I was on the Islander for 10 years before that, and 5 years in Africa previous, and 1 year with the business here. And initially I have a photo standing in front of Tango Alpha, the freighter, in the business air hangar, which became one of our airplanes as well. Anyway, in the flight deck with me today, I've got Iskander Pradesh. He's going to look after me. I need all help I can get. I'm just nearly 65, but I passed my medical 2 days ago, you'll be glad to hear, and they reckon I'm still fit to go. I've got Alex in the front here. He's got 17,000 hours of flying experience, part 2 experience, and he may be wee, but he packs a punch. So, and we've got Kirstine in the back there. She's looking after your comfort and safety. Very shortly she's coming forward to give you a safety demonstration. Appreciate all your attention for that. It does contain information for the safety of yourself and the safety of those around you. It's also specific to the Saab 340 aircraft. Now we'll say no more, we'll just get this thing started up. It's very nice. When we're taxiing out, this Saab makes the most incredibly lovely noise when it's in beta mode. If you're an aviation geek, you'll enjoy it. Okay, we'll get this thing away and up into the air. Enjoy. And if we are coming in over the campuses, it might be a wee bit lumpy and bumpy, but enjoy that. That's part of the Disney ride. Thanks very much.
Thank you for your attention and enjoy your short flight with us.
Once both our engines had started up, we pushed back and began our taxi to runway 23. Our route today would see us heading out over the Inverclyde coast and circling around the Isle of Bute, before heading back northeast over Port Glasgow and the campuses, and then turning for our final approach back to Glasgow.
Folks, I'm just going to do a full power takeoff on this one, so we'll be setting the brakes and then just applying full power. So when we do eventually start rolling, it's quite, you feel yourself chucked back into your seat. We kind of love doing that, so you enjoy it. Thank you.
With the captain applying a full power takeoff, we certainly were pushed back into our seats with the impressive acceleration in the Saab, and we were soon hurtling down runway 23. There were a few lumps and bumps as we began our initial climb, but this 35-year-old Saab 340 took it in its stride. If you're enjoying the video, please hit the like button, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for new videos when they're released. All too soon we found ourselves inside the cloud cover, And unfortunately that was pretty much our view for the entirety of the flight until we were back on our final approach. As there wasn't much to see outside, I had a quick look around the inside. The seat had good legroom and had a very small tray table with a mesh pocket below that contained the safety card. As you'd expect, there wasn't much in the way of headroom, and the overhead bins would struggle with anything larger than a small bag. But as a bonus, each seat did have its own overhead air vent.
Hello again folks, so just give a quick update then on what's happening. We're just about to catch the glide slope which takes us down towards the runway, and we're now doing about 190 knots at the moment, so we'll start slowing down very soon, and then putting the gear and the flap down. And that's us just captured the ILS now, so we're starting our descent down. Eddie's doing the flying, but the autopilot's in at the moment, so we'll probably take it out later on and do a bit of hand flying as we come down. And once we get a wee bit closer, you'll feel the flaps going down. Of course, those pilots and people that know if they put the flaps down, the nose comes down, and then the gear will come down, and then you'll hear the props going forward to give us maximum thrust just in case we need it on the go around. So that's us now coming down, that's the gear coming down now, as you can hear. And then very shortly we'll get the flaps down and start slowing down. We're now down back to 170 knots on the approach, which is a normal speed for us. Here comes the flaps, you feel a wee dun as the nose goes down there. The speed there slowly go back to 160 knots. We've got just under 7 miles to go now. As the clouds start to break up, so you maybe just be able to see Bearsden and Mulgai appearing very shortly underneath, and then off to the right, Bearsden, Dumbarton, that kind of area, Erskine Bridge if you're lucky. So the scanners just go through the checks now. Here comes the props going forward, so that's just in case we have to go around, so it gives us full power on the go around, and just got the last stage of flap to go, and the air traffic's just about to give us the clearance to land. So that's Eddie just taking the autopilot out. Some of you may have just heard that, the wee chime coming on, so he's now hand flying the aircraft. So any lumps and bumps we'll put down to him, and then we'll mark him out a 10 for the landing. Just coming up to 4 miles now. Again, we're just slowing down now back to our landing speed. We're up 140 knots just now, so it's about 150 miles an hour or so. Just making the clearance to land. As you can see, the weather is deteriorating quite rapidly. It's not supposed to be so good this afternoon. Event is going to the hangar visit this afternoon. I'll see you there. I'm going to be showing you around the Saab aircraft at 1 o'clock, so I look forward to seeing you if you're going to be there. Just coming over Clydebank now, which is my old hunting ground. As a matter of fact, you can just see my house that I used to live in many years ago. My school, which is now a house in the estate, unfortunately. Just coming over to Clydebank Shopping Centre. And I'm going to give you a further update as we get a little bit closer. We're just coming up to about 3 miles now, and just coming back now to about 130 knots. So that's just coming over the Clyde now, and slowly coming back to a landing speed of 122 knots. The wind is a little bit off to the right, so a little bit of a crosswind landing here for Eddie. He's a master of that, he's flown Islander, so this should be absolutely no problem for him whatsoever. When we're coming down, we use visual guidance on the runway, so those who know runway lighting have 2 reds, 2 whites. That gives us the correct approach path all the way down. And he's doing a really good job now, 2 reds, 2 whites all the way down. Just coming over the end of the runway now. When we cross the runway threshold, which is about now, we'll be about 50 feet off the ground. Then he'll start slowly taking the power off, lifting the nose up to get the aircraft into the landing configuration. We should touch down any second now. There we go. That's a 9 out of 10 for Eddie. And then he puts it into beta. Slows the aircraft down just by using the props, and then gentle braking and taxiing off. So I hope you enjoyed that short trip, ladies and gentlemen. A big round of applause for Eddie and Iskander, and we'll see if we made this far. Thank you.
After roughly 20 minutes in the air, we were back in a rather damp Glasgow, having enjoyed the fantastic narration of our descent and approach from Captain Alex Brand, who was in the cockpit jump seat. Once we had pulled on stands, I took the time to have a better look around the seats while I was waiting to get off the plane. I really love the unique Harris tweed headrests that Loganair use in these seats. Although it was over all too quickly, this was a great flight with Loganair and a fantastic way to say farewell to an aircraft that has served them so well over nearly 2 decades. Take one, that's okay. Thanks. Cheers. Yeah, thanks very much. Cheers.
Oh, so sorry.
Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please hit the like button, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.